On this week's episode, we share our thoughts on WrestleMania, the future for DC for Ezra Miller, and how the coronavirus has affected the entertainment world for actors. All this and more as we reach our next stop, the PCC Multiverse. And we're back with another episode of the PCC Multiverse. This is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos, Game Source, Inside Sports Fantasy Football, and the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Thank you so much for listening to our entire library of shows. And I do want to give a special thank you to everybody who has, because our numbers in a time and period where podcasting is mostly down for listening, because not as many people are at work, the past few days for the Pop Culture Cosmos has gone really, really well. So I do thank people for that. And that's all because of you. And we truly appreciate it. But it wouldn't be a PCC Multiverse without my good friend, who's the man who could wind up being the new Flash. Not only for us here at Pop Culture Cosmos, but for DC as well. But for now, you got to check out what he's doing today at popculturecosmos.com, his great show Topicocalypse, and also his great book, his awesome book, Congratulations, You Suck. It is my good friend. It is Josh Peterson. How's it going, man? Oh, I should say, what's up, man?
Is that a reference I'm missing?
What?
No, you just switched from how's it going to
what? Oh, well, no, the what's up, man is what I usually do. I gotta stay in the rhythm. What's up, man? Okay. I was thinking one time I said it so much, and I realized after like a year I said it so much. After I think I was going to get a T-shirt that says "What's up, man?"
What's up, everybody? That's what all the regular podcast openings are for every podcast. But
exactly,
not much, man. How you doing? What's going on?
I'm all right, but we will touch on Ezra Miller's possible future for the DC universe coming up here in a few minutes. But we also as well going to talk about some great things going on within the world of pro wrestling, aka sports entertainment. WrestleMania weekend has just gone by, and Noah Ian Fain is going to stop by later in the broadcast. Not about retro gaming this time, but he's going to be talking about WrestleMania. He's going to share his thoughts, and I will as well, on WrestleMania. But I also want to give a shout out to the guys at the ESO Network. I was on their show for over 2.5 hours recapping WrestleMania. So if you want to hear not only today's show and me sharing my thoughts, but a more extended conversation, check out their show as well. But Noah will be on later in the program as he and I go back and forth with our thoughts on WrestleMania. Lisa London, who's been on several shows, including Law & Order SVU and the most recent morning show that's now available on Apple TV. She's stopping by to talk about how the coronavirus and all that's going on is affecting her as a working actress. And she's got a lot of projects on the queue that are now on hold because of what's going on. So she's going to tell us a little bit about how it's affecting her and her future going forward, because as she put it, she was on a roll. Is she going to stay on a roll? Our conversation hopefully will alleviate some of those issues as well. And then on the back end, Josh and I are going to talk about a little bit more about the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox One Series X. And speaking of X, I've got, well, not X-rated, mind you, but I've got some emails coming up later in the program that I want to go ahead and give a shout out, because while everybody else is out of work or at home doing what they can, all these people that are sending bogus emails, those have skyrocketed through the roof. And I know you've seen it in your email. I've got a few I want to share coming up later in the program as well. But first, my friend, it is Ezra Miller. I don't know. Do you want to go into a little detail about what happened as far as, I know it's a kind of like a bar fight that maybe might not be a bar fight that could have ended up with being where he possibly even choked out a woman and maybe not choked out a woman. I don't know, whether it's real or fake, this cannot be a great look for Ezra Miller going forward.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like the video is very shaky, and it's like it feels very staged because I'm not going to say it has a staged feel to it, but I don't know. There's so many
And we're trying
unknowns.
not to say right here. I just want to say we're
Yeah.
not trying to
Yeah, we're not.
desensitize this.
Right. It feels very weird. It has so many unknowns because first of all, the video appears to have a fan like joking around going, yeah, you want to fight? And he goes, yeah, you want to fight? And he grabs her by the neck and he throws her down, not throws her, but kind of like lays her gently down on the ground by her neck. And the guy with the camera goes, oh, bro, like, why would you stand there with the camera while your friend is getting choke slammed by Ezra Miller? And why wouldn't you stop recording and step in and try to do something about it? So like that's what makes it feel like it might not be real. And there's also the fact that his people, his agent and people like that, nobody has responded to any comments about it yet. So like it could be real because it is Ezra Miller and he does do weird things, like he wore the inflatable dress or whatever to the Academy Awards, but also, it could be a stunt. Like I don't know. Ezra Miller he's very weird, and I hear that he's very hard to work with. He's very like artistic in everything he does. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. Like it's so weird, and nobody has come out and said like, oh, he's been kicked off the project. Because usually when you have these, these things that happen like this, it happen immediately. People start acting immediately, right? Like with the whole Jeremy Renner situation, right? It took less than a week for him to get. For them to say we're pulling his Hawkeye show and things like that. So it's just nobody.
Well, right now it's back on for 2021, but we're like you said, it's very tenuous at best right now.
Yeah, but there were comments, right, by Bob Iger and the people that worked on the show. We haven't heard anything from J.K. Rowling about this. Haven't heard anything from the people over at Warner Brothers over this. So I don't know what to make of any of this.
Because he's part of not only the DC universe, but the Fantastic Beasts universe as well. And he is a major integral part of both actual series. So it's something going forward. As an actor, if you are in the limelight, I don't know, maybe it's just something where you have that cockiness about you or something like that. If, us that are not in that position, maybe it comes off a little as jaded. But, if we were in that position, I'd say we would make better choices and say, you know what, I'm in the middle of Fantastic Beasts on one side, and I could possibly even have my own Flashpoint movie on the other. I'm not going out and making a total you-know-what out of myself, and I'm just trying to go ahead and stay on the straight and narrow because this is the time I can really go ahead and cash in on my name. Who knows what happens in the future? I mean, we've seen so many times in Hollywood, in the movie industry, you're a Flash, you're the man one day, you're the gal one day, and the next minute, you're not.
Well, yeah, look at Johnny Depp, right? He's a case in point with that whole thing. The whole thing with Amber Heard and the alleged abuse allegations. And, there was a lot of drama. People reacted to that literally in the next day after that happened. And, he was Jack Sparrow, right? He was the guy everybody loved him. Jack Sparrow, hey, this guy. And now he's in Fantastic Beasts, but people don't like him very much. People don't talk about him. Like outside of Fantastic Beasts, he's really like he is in a cologne commercial. Like that's the only thing that I have seen him in a long time outside of, the J.K. Rowling stuff.
Well, we'll see what happens when in regards to Ezra Miller, whether or not it was real, not real. I'm going to say it's real at this point forward, and my thoughts are with the individual that did get choked out. I'm hoping that she is okay, and I know that you are too, Josh. If real or not real, I'm just hoping it's okay. But still, it's not a good look for Ezra Miller. And going forward, if you are in the Fantastic Beasts, if you are J.K. Rowling, if you are in DC, especially the fact that the Flashpoint movie is still something that's not a sure thing. We hear that it's maybe a go one week, and we hear maybe it's not so much of a go the next week. So I ask you, my friend, is the future for Ezra Miller still there in light of all this? If I'm in DC, if I'm in Warner Brothers, I'm not so keen on keeping Ezra Miller around, especially if he's liable to do this kind of stuff.
So yeah, let me just be real clear. Like I'm not saying I think he's guilty or innocent here. Like
we don't know for sure.
I'm trying to look at it objectively. And also, you know, I could totally see. I don't think they'd have a problem scrapping him as the Flash just because there's so much turmoil, you know, in that universe. But looking at the Fantastic Beasts franchise, I don't see them not getting rid of. I don't see them getting rid of him because that would create a double standard, right? Because there were a lot of calls for Johnny Depp to be kicked out of that series too, and they didn't do it. So I don't see them doing that, especially because continuity is so important in that. I mean, they might let him finish out his contract and then he just won't get hired for anything ever again, but I don't see them, you know, giving him the axe altogether in that series. The Flash is probably a big possibility, but not Fantastic Beasts.
Well, those were thoughts of Josh and I in regards to what's going on with Ezra Miller. I mean, should they keep him as the Flash? We're going to have to wait and see as more news comes in, as more as this develops. I'm sure Warner Brothers, with both the Fantastic Beasts and also the DC universe standing by, he's an integral part of each. He could really be someone that they could focus in on, you know, as we saw with the last Fantastic Beast, and we also saw with, as we also saw with Justice League, he was the bright spot in many ways to a lot of people out there in both those films. So his future, I mean, it's tenuous right now. We don't know if it's going to go either which way. We just hope, like I said, everyone is okay. I'm just hoping it's fake. I'm really hoping that it's fake and that nothing was done. But if it was, this could be some serious signs going forward for Ezra Miller and his hope for being involved with not only the Fantastic Beasts, but the future for Flashpoint and a DC universe. What are your thoughts out there on what Ezra Miller, on what's going on with Ezra Miller? Do you believe the news? Do you not believe the news of what happened? Did you see the video? I mean, we're hoping that it was fake, but if it wasn't, we truly feel for the individual that was involved in that. And Ezra Miller got to make better choices. And if you have any thoughts on this whole situation, please share it with us. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Also as well, Pop Culture Cosmos, Humanity Media, and Game Source on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Well, coming up next, we've got a great guest coming up for you. It's Lisa London, successful actress, many, many different projects. You want to check out her IMDb page. Also like her on her Facebook fan page. And you go ahead and get all the info on what she's up to. Many great projects, but they've all put on hold because of the coronavirus. She's gonna come up right after the break to share her thoughts on that and how it's affecting her and the entertainment industry. This is the PCC Multiverse. And coming up next, it's Noah Ian Fine. He's stopping by to recap WrestleMania with me right after the break. This is the PCC Multiverse. And we're back to close out the show. This is PCC Multiverse. I do want to thank so much Lisa London and Noah Ian Fine for appearing on the show. Again, please, if you can, she's got a great Facebook page, Lisa London, a fan following page. If you want to go ahead, please follow her there, or also on Instagram. She mentioned it before right on our interview. Go ahead, check out Lisa London on Instagram or on Facebook. You'll be glad you did. My friend, before we head on out, you wanted to talk about PlayStation 5 and also the Xbox Series X. PlayStation 5 introduced their new controller. It's got a lot of nice features. I wanted to go ahead and hear your thoughts on that. First off, what are your thoughts on PlayStation's new and upcoming PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense controller?
I'm going to mirror what a lot of other people are saying out there. It looks just like the Xbox controller. It's pretty crazy. Like it's lost that not clunkiness, but like that how everything's so sharp and curved inward with the PlayStation remotes. It's lost that, and it kind of looks just like an Xbox controller, or even like the Wii remote, which also, or the Wii control, not Wii, but Switch controller, which also kind of resembled an Xbox remote. But I do love the it looks cool. It looks sleek. I don't have an issue with it, but I just it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of creativity went into it. But also I love the fun that the internet is having with it.
Well, I like the fact that it has a mic built in. Now, I don't know how good the mic is, because you and I both know how much I appreciate a good mic. Okay, I have trashed headphone reviews before and headphones because of a bad mic. So you know me and how I love a good mic. So if it has a
Yeah.
great mic, I'm going to be all for it, and it still has the headphone jack there.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, like how well if the mic's in the controller, how well is that going to pick up your voice and not the sounds around you? You know, that's why I like about the place about like the headsets that you use, the headsets that come with the Xbox, even like some of the PlayStation 4 headsets. Like I like them because the mouthpiece is right next to your mouth, so you're not picking up. If you're playing, you have a dog running around the background or a kid running around the background, it's not picking all of that up. It's just,
and that's something we've talked about before with your, like when you go to a speaker or when you go to a computer mic, it will pick up everything.
Yeah, well, because it's omnidirectional, like it'll pick up everything around you, and that's why a lot of people buy the Yeti
Cardioid, I think, right?
yeah, the Yeti USB mics, and they have them set to like cardioid, and then they'll have them set to omnidirectional or whatever they have it set to. But the thing with the Yeti, the microphone goes all the way around, right? It's not just aimed specifically in one space. So you have it like, oh yeah, it's such a great microphone, and it does. It picks up a lot of the tones in your voice, but like your kid bursts in and goes, I gotta poop, it's gonna pick that up immediately. It's almost gonna be louder than you talking right in front of it.
Or somebody like on the Zoom meeting that's using the restroom during the Zoom meeting.
Right. People who do that thing where they have their phones on their ears and they don't think that we can hear them urinating. Like it's the loudest sound in the room. Like you don't. Yeah,
I hear you, my friend.
Especially good at picking that stuff up. But
and you've heard interviews with several of my guests that use the omnidirectionals, and you can, if you watch me on camera, you can hear me kind of biting my lip. And I understand that they've got to use whatever they got to use, but those omnidirectionals, they never sound as good, and it's just hard. But yeah, if the mic on the controller is good, that's great. If it's not, then it could be a disaster waiting to happen for PlayStation.
Yeah, I agree. But I do love the fun the internet's been having with it. I love for the first time Xbox fans have been able to fire back hard at PlayStation. There was one tweet that I read that said the reason PlayStation remotes don't have letters like all the other remotes do is because PlayStation fans can't read. No offense to our friends, the Monroys and Doug out there. I know you guys love PlayStation. I'm just saying that it's funny. It is funny.
I'm Switzerland. I'm trying to ride both. I like both.
I like both of them too.
Yeah, you don't often say that.
No, well, I mean, right now I have my PlayStation hooked up. I'm playing God of War. I'm doing the preload for Final Fantasy VII. So, like, I do like my PlayStation. I just like how the Xbox is a little bit more accessible. But that's a whole other conversation for another time.
But you mentioned the Xbox Series X. It had some more stuff to announce as well.
Oh no! So it's not the Xbox Series X. It was an Inside Xbox announced stream. So they kind of do every once in a while. They'll do kind of like what Nintendo does with their directs, but they call them Inside Xbox, and it's a live stream that shows like, hey, here's a couple new trailers for some games. Here's what's coming out to Games Pass this month, and so they had some pretty cool announcements. Remember at E3 they showed Grounded, where you shrink and you're kind of running around. It's a little survival adventure game that takes place, in your front lawn. Do you remember that? It's made by Obsidian. So they showed more footage of that. That is supposed to be available to play on July 28th through the game preview. I don't think it's like officially out. And also they announced that the Xbox Series X, like you can play games and store them on any hard drive. You don't have to, there's no like specific Xbox oriented hard drive. You can just go buy like a Western Digital or a Seagate, pop it in there into the backing and just save whatever you want, wherever you want.
Good things right there for you.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's always, that's nice, right? Like with, what is PlayStation, right? You have to have a specifically designed, you have to have a specific hard drive for it. I know Xbox did that for a while, but then they did a patch where you can use regular hard drives now.
It just makes it easier. I mean, the more proprietary stuff, it's bad. It's bad, and it's not functional for the gamers out there.
No, and a lot of places don't like sell game accessories anymore. At least not a lot of them. So, All right. So what else they announced? Forza Street is head to iOS. That's like a really bad Forza mobile game. So I mean, if you're really desperate for something to play, then yeah, it's all right. But like it is like a Fast and the Furious video game. Like it's pretty bad. They also, huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
They also announced coming to Games Pass. You have Savage Planet, Football Manager 2020, Stranger Things 3, and there's a few things coming to PC Games Pass. Minecraft Dungeons will come out on May 26th. Journey to Savage Planets expansion Hot Garbage launches April 15th. And then they did say, so there's been a lot of questions about Gears Tactics, right? They showed that trailer at E3 and they keep saying it's going to come out, it's going to come out, it's going to come out, and it got pushed back a couple times. So it is officially going to be the game went gold, so it's slated to come out in April, and it's going to be part of the Games Pass at launch, so you can play it right when it comes out. It looks cool. I'm not much into tactical games, but I am invested in the Gears franchise, so I might play that. Do you have any interest in that?
Not big on tactic games, but because it's Gears, I might take a look. You never know.
Because the main character is Kate's dad. So you're playing as Gabe Diaz, and he's Kate's dad. So I'm curious to see kind of what happens to him. Yeah, but other things announced is just Hotline Miami collection available on Xbox One now. There's Atomic Crops will be out May 28th, and then there's a new Sea of Thieves update on April 22nd called Ships of Fortune. It has your reputation system grows. They've overhauled their competitive mode, and then you can adopt a cat. So I mean, for whatever that means for people. But yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty good. Microsoft is doing good things. Nintendo's doing good things. We're just waiting for PlayStation, to step up a little bit.
Well, if the DualSense controller is worth anything, we'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping it is. I'm hoping it makes the PlayStation 5 comparable or competitive with the Xbox Series X when they both come out later this year. I'm looking forward to that. I know supplies will be limited because of what's going on with coronavirus, but I'm looking forward to it, especially when the price gets announced for each. What are your thoughts out there? Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, one last thought. Did you see the Borderlands science thing where you can play things and you're allegedly like actually doing science for people? So that's interesting. But yeah, if you guys play that game out there, Borderlands Science, send us an email. I want to know a little bit more about it, but I don't actually want to play it.
But he wants to hear what you have to say. What are your thoughts out there on PlayStation 5 and also Xbox Series X getting some announcements, plus whatever Microsoft and Sony is doing, and the DualSense controller for the PlayStation 5? Is this something that makes you more intrigued into what's going on with the PlayStation 5? Let us know. Share us your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, before we head on out, remember for Josh, please, if you get a chance, there's some good reading. Congratulations, You Suck. It's now available on Amazon and also Barnes & Noble, and you can go ahead and get it downloaded to your Kindle or Nook. Listen to his great show, Topicocalypse, for his podcast, and also our great podcast. I've done several interviews this week on the NBA draft for the Lakers Fast Break, so catch that, plus my weekly interview with Laker Tom of Lakerholics.net. Chris Sardieri from Inside Sports Fantasy Football. I've got one coming up this weekend, so check that out as well, covering the NFL. A lot of great shows coming up from us. And again, we truly appreciate if you like what we do, please give us that 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If it has that star system, we truly appreciate it. Like and subscribe. We do know that you're subscribing if you do, so we truly appreciate it. So you get those latest episodes of whatever comes down for the Pop Culture Cosmos channel. And if you have any questions, please, you can always email us, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. And again, we appreciate everything you do. We know there's tough times. We do appreciate everyone out there that's working hard for us in the times of need. So if you're in the healthcare, you're in the front lines, or wherever you're at, we truly appreciate listening us to. We truly appreciate you listening to us right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos. But before we head on out, my friends, speaking of emails, I think a lot of these people have more time on their hands too, like we all do, And that's the people who send out those spam bots, those spam bots that send out all those nasty spam emails. Because listen to this, man. Turn on your mic. Listen to this. Okay. I want to get your real-time reaction to this. Okay. Have you gone from NDO793 at Gmail? Have you gotten the hi, how are you? Hello, please, can I have a word with you type emails? I know some people out there have. Or have you gotten one like this one? Okay, get this. The sender's name is Rodolphe Guilia, and it starts off, my name is Mrs. Karen Smith. But wait, isn't the sender's name Rodolphe Guilia? How can Mrs. Karen Smith and I don't know, it's just some 72-year-old widow who needs money. But, I don't even know, that's crazy. Then you've got Miriam Karam, and it's from Mrs. Miriam Karam. It says, greetings, my name, right there. Once it says greetings, you're in trouble. Writer with heart, there's a new romance book for me. Who knew? And then also I've got PayPal and Amazon always saying that I've had these purchases. Have you gotten those? It says you've got these $1,100 or $1,200 purchases. You got these alerts from PayPal and Amazon that are, hey, check into this. Somebody spent a lot of money on your account. And then obviously if you look at it, you get that information, you give them all the information. You're in trouble there. So hopefully everybody's avoiding these spam bots that are out there that are sending you all these emails because they have even more transactions. I've got Mr. Robert Coffey. Attention, dear friend. I don't even know who that is. I've got Nora Madani telling me, hi, can you be able to assist me in a lucrative business transaction? This is crazy, man. I've got Aisha Al-Qaddafi. She needs an investment partner. I've got PayPal. I've got Amazon, even more, telling me I owe them money, but I didn't even make a purchase, which I don't even have. I've got people that are saying nice to meet me. Heck, man, I've even got, get this. I even got dear friends all over the place, and I've got somebody at KWKU8EUY877FIU. They want to enjoy with me, and they want a relationship. Man, this is some crazy stuff, man. People got a lot of time on their hands.
Do you know what I get a lot of? I get a lot in the Humanican Media email address. I get a lot of people telling me that random strangers died, and I had been in their life once, and so they have left me a fortune. Come pick up so and so's fortune. Hey, your time's running out, dear friend.
From the UK usually for me.
Yeah,
UK or from one of the African continents. So from one of the continent of Africa, I should say. So yeah, it's just it's crazy, man. It's crazy. If you got the crazy emails out there, please share it with us at our real email so we can see your real email, popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Well, my friend, it's been a great episode. I cannot thank you for being a part of it. I know you've got a lot of traveling to do in your near future, so I wish you safe travels, my friend. Any last thoughts on the way out?
No, let's hope this quarantine social isolation thing ends soon, right? So we can all go back out there, start buying video games, going to the movies, watching things, doing pop culture stuff again. Let's hope that happens here soon.
Let's hope that happens soon, indeed. So for Josh Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful day in paradise right here in the PCC Multiverse. We thank you for listening. And here's hoping you have yourself a great